net, where each person, each builder says, we can give you the property next somewhere between 90 days to 120 days, and you're not entitled to compensation, you're entitled to nothing, you can sit down and goodbye.
And the index continues going up?
And the index continues going up. Every time I try and negotiate it, that once you get to completion date, we're not paying index, and every time I get told goodbye. So it's a case of when in Rome, unfortunately. I do try every time, I try innocently, and I try, but that's what there is, unfortunately. After that, after the 90 days, we think we're happy, we know we're going to get the key. But no. Acts of God. If there's too much rain in Israel, okay? If there's, if God forbid there's a war, a lack of building materials, a lack of workers because they've exported all the illegal workers, they can add that on and say, okay, we've got 90 days, and we've got our acts of God, and you're not getting compensation for that either. The final excuse they come up with is changes. If you've built a property and you bought it from them, and you're making changes, you said to them, listen, in my dining room, on my living room floor, I would like a special mosaic of the Mona Lisa. That's going to take them a year to do. They'll say, okay, we'll do it, you'll pay us, we'll pay you the completion date off for a year. So what I say to people is, if you're planning on making changes, make them as early as you can. As soon as you sign a contract, you go something on the builder's door, these are the changes, and you're not delaying it because I'm telling you now, and you haven't even broken the ground, you haven't even got foundations in, there's no reason. So I try and put that into the contract, but sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work. It just depends on the builder and how badly he wants to sell the property. When is the property ready? Okay? Very often I get phone calls, Mr. Sykes, your client's property is ready, pay. I think, oh lovely, thank you very much. And how do I know it's ready? So there's a special form called Tofes Arba. Tofes Arba is the form which is granted by the municipality, which says that Mr. Builder has completed his property and fulfilled all the different criteria, the fire test, the electric test, and it's ready for residency. If you do not see that form, if you do not get that form, and it's not been printed yet, you're not paying. I'm not paying. It means the property is not ready. There's something wrong somewhere. They will force you, they will try and sue you, as has happened to me. They don't have a leg to stand on. The only bad thing is that you're paying index on this. Okay? So I prefer to wait for the last payment till the key and run the index and let them have the money. The other thing is that after you have the grace period, after the act of God, after they put you off for the changes, you are entitled to compensation. Compensation is, as most things in Israel, negotiable, and you start off very high, you end up somewhere in the middle, and everyone's sort of happy. What I tend to do is that for the first 6 months I get X amount, and then after the 6 month delay I double it. So give them a real punitive and real incentive to finish my client's property. The next important thing is technical specifications. In Hebrew it's Mifrat Techni. This is an appendix to the contract. And what it does is, it means that you're supposed to be able to close your eyes, walk into your living room, and see exactly what you're getting. You're supposed to see you're going to get 4 electric switches, 2 telephone sockets. You're supposed to see you're going to get tiles 30 by 30. You're going to have in your kitchen 1.5 meters of kitchen cabinets. You're going to have upper kitchen cabinets. Whatever it is in there. This is your indication as to the quality of the apartment. Because if you're going to be getting cheap tiles, or a cheap kitchen, or not big enough kitchen, already when you're planning your budget, add in an extra 40,000 shekels for the kitchen, or for the tiles. If the tiles in the bathroom only go up to 2/3, most they do in Israel because it's cheaper, then you may want to upgrade and tell them, listen, I want it up to the ceiling. Again, before we sign the contract, everything is negotiable. If you don't have stainless steel sinks, you keep kosher, you tell them, listen, I want stainless steel sinks. But you don't want any stainless steel sinks because they can give you the cheapest on the market, which rust. Okay? So you have to make sure you get the proper standard. Everything is negotiable. And the more they are lachuk, the more they think they've got you, the last minute you come and say, I want 5 sockets, I want to be able to change rooms, this, that, and everything, you'll get something. Okay? It's very rare that I don't get everything in a contract. Now, the technical specifications are the basis of your property. And if you want to make changes, then you have to do it through the builder. If you do it through the builder, you have a warranty. The warranty on all different parts of the property. During the first year, whatever goes wrong with the property, except if your 2-year-old son comes with a sledgehammer and smashes something, the builder is liable to fix. They all try and get out of it, they try and put it off, but contractually it's there. It's called Chokam Necher. One caveat is that it does not apply in Yehuda and Shomron in the West Bank. It's something that you have to put in. Most builders agree to it without a fight, no problem. Mala doing specifically, all the builders put it in, even though it's in the West Bank. and it gives you the first year of anything needs to be fixed, and after that you have dampness, you have the plumbing, you have electrics, and it goes up to 7 years, okay? If you want to make changes and the builder doesn't want to make them, he will say to you, do what you want after the key. Now, if you bring in your nice little cheap electrician, and he starts doing what you need, and things don't work, we get in a clash here. Because your electrician says, oh, it wasn't working when I came, and your builder says, oh, it was working when I gave you the key, and you go between the two and negotiate. So, the most important thing is to make sure when you get the key, that everything is properly working. Which means